Hello lovelies, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Lily. I am a 25-year-old zero-based cash budgeter and stuffer up in Maine. I have been doing the budget by paycheck method of cash budgeting for 4 years now, and this system has provided me with the tools to pay down debt and to purchase my home that I live in now with my boyfriend and our 3 dogs. And we do all things cash budgeting over here, so if any of that sounds like content that may interest you, I sincerely hope that you consider hitting that subscribe button and sending some support my way. But happy Money Monday, everyone. How are we doing? How are we feeling? I am filming this video on Saturday. It is about 4:40 in the afternoon. Today's just been an incredibly productive day. I've been keeping up with as much as I can, like tidying things up, picking up after myself and Austin and the dogs, and just trying to keep things clean. So from chores and errands and everything, it's just felt like a good productive day. I got a lot of orders done today. So the reason I'm filming this on Saturday is because tomorrow I will be at a bridal shower for my cousin's fiance. So I will be gone for most of the day. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to have time to film this tomorrow when I get back. So I just wanted to pre-film this. But today we are going to be budgeting out my 3rd paycheck for the month of May, or I guess our income for the 3rd pay period of May. Quickly, just how I have my spread broken down here. I have a spot for my income, plus a little spot up here for money that we're leaving out of the budget this week. I have money that's going into my wallet for gas and groceries. I have a section for my bills and my debt payments. I have a section for my business income, because some of this is my own personal business income. I have a section for my sinking funds, which are like long-term savings categories that I will be pulling from here and there. So they are consistently being added to and also consistently being taken from. And then I also have a section for my savings, which are more long-term. I'm not pulling from these consistently. So the only actual change to the monthly schedule this week for me is that because last month was a magic month and there was an extra paycheck, it sort of pushed the dates back for this month. So my 3rd paycheck of the month is actually when I'm going to be paid from YouTube. And technically I could hold off and wait until we do the stuffing next week. But I figured since more subscriptions are coming out this week, I might as well add that income in here. So what we had planned initially to go towards from my YouTube paychecks towards my certain debts for week 4, we're going to be doing week 3. So we're just switching week 3 and week 4. If that doesn't make any sense, don't worry about it. It's just really for my own peace of mind. But for my income this week, we will have 3 sources. We'll have my full-time paycheck, which I got $617 this week from Etsy. Again, I'm filming this on Saturday. The pay period will not technically end until mid-morning on Monday, and then I won't get paid out until Tuesday. So if I do get any orders on Sunday, tomorrow, or this evening, we could be working with a little bit more income. If I don't get any more orders until Monday morning before it pays me out, we could be working with less. So this is a preliminary budget. I will, of course, tweak this once I actually get the payout from Etsy. But right now we had an amazing week, and before taxes, we are working with $462, which is absolutely crazy. And then when it comes to my YouTube income, you guys, I cannot thank you guys enough. This was seriously an incredible month. YouTube pays out a month behind. So this is income that we made throughout the month of April. And if you didn't know, people on YouTube who make content, we get paid via the number of views on the advertisements. So if you get an ad before, during, or after your video and you don't skip it or you watch a good portion of it, that is how you are financially helping or contributing to your favorite content creators. But of course, watching in general, sharing, liking, commenting, subscribing, all of those things help to push the content out there. So I really, really appreciate you guys for supporting me over here on YouTube and on my Etsy shop. But this was my best month, I think, ever. It could, or at least in the last year, from YouTube. I genuinely can't believe how good we did. But we have coming in $848. How absurd is that? Genuinely, like, that is absolutely crazy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This month we do kind of, it is a daily progress, so I do know how much I've made so far in May. We're not meeting that, so obviously this was like just a fantastic month, so I genuinely appreciate you guys for supporting me. But for our total income, $617, $462, and $848, of course, before taxes, that is a $1,927, which is absolutely absurd. So that's our total income. To find my budgetable income, I need to leave some money out, which it means that it's going to stay in the bank. I'm not going to pull it out in cash and put it in my envelopes because I have some auto drafts that are going to be coming from my account. So weekly, I have $10 that transfers over to my Ally savings account and separates between different envelopes, categories. And then I have $20 that is automatically transferred and invested in my Roth IRA account through Charles Schwab. So that's $30. And then this week for subscriptions, the end of the month just tends to be a little bit higher. I have multiple subscriptions pulling, like my Canva, Cricut, or I don't think Cricut yet, like Canva, Artlist, Amazon Prime, just a bunch of different things between the 20th and the 26th. So they total $66. So 66 plus 30 will be 96. I know that that is a lot and that sucks, but that is what we are leaving out of the budget this week. So 1,927 minus 96 still gives us a fantastic income of $1,831. Seriously crazy. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in my debt payments. So I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit. I'm going to pop this over here. And I'm first going to grab my binder that has all of my bills in it. So we're going to go through these. I personally know what my monthly totals are, but how I find the weekly dollar amount that we're stuffing in here is I take the total monthly amount that I need for each category and I divide it by the number of paychecks that I'm getting that month. So this month I'm getting 4 paychecks because I get paid weekly and it's not an extra paycheck month. So I divide the total by 4. I take the total, of course, I subtract what I have already saved to find what else I need to save, and then I'll divide that by as many paychecks as are left. So we need for my mortgage $423. We have 51, 120, 30, 40, 55, 60, and a 161, right? 51, 120, 30, 40, 55, 60. Yes, so minus 161 is $262. And divided by, we're on week 3 and there's only 4, so there's 2 paychecks left. So divided by 2 is $131 a week that I need to stuff into mortgage. My internet bill is now, because we switched to Fidium, $45. We have 10, 15, 20, 21, 2, 3, and 24. So I need 21. Divided by 2 paychecks is $10.50. So I'm going to do 11 this week, and then next week I'll only have to do 10 or 9, 10. Yeah, 10 is fine. Okay. So my electric bill, I still don't know the total of this, but I do save $240 a month. We have $100 already in the bank as a buffer. I don't count that in what we need to save. So we have saved 50, 60, 70, 85, 95, 96, 97, and 98 in electric. Sorry, my dogs just started freaking out. So we need 142 left, divided by the 2 paychecks is $71 for the next 2 weeks. For my heat bill, I try to save $100 a month. This month, we skipped week 1 because we did not have enough income to work with. So I do $25 a week. We have 10, 25, 30, 10, 25, 30, and 35. Oh, I think I must have just done 10 the first week. So we did 25 and then 10. So I'm going to do Actually, let's bring it up to, so we have 130, 140, 150, 55, 60, and 165. Let's say I want to get up to 200. Minus 165 is 35, divided by 2 is 18 a week. So I'll do 18. It's $17.50, so I'll do 18 this week and 17 next week, I guess. Water and sewer, similarly, I do $25 a week. We are a little bit ahead on this. We have 325 in here, so I'm just gonna do another 25. This one's quarterly and it should be due at the end of June, and it's typically a little over 200, which is why we had some left over and then I overstuffed it. So I think we should be okay, but we'll see. My phone bill is $60 minus $10, $25, and $30 is $30 remaining. Divided by our 2 paychecks is $15 for the next 2 weeks. Now my car insurance, again, it's a little bit different. It is variable. I have just on my own done the calculation since this is due in August for my 6-month renewal, and I don't exactly know how much I'm gonna need. I am overestimating. So I stuff $25 a week in here in order to have at least enough for my car insurance renewal that I am anticipating it's going to be, if not more. So that's just its own thing. Now, pet insurance is $100 a month, but my boyfriend and I split that. So it is $50 for my portion. And we have 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 26. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Did I put? I guess so. So I need 24 more, divided by the next 2 paychecks is $12. My Washville car membership, I am ahead in this one. So technically it is $20. This is the last month that it should be 20, and then it should go up to 30. But we have 10, 15, and 20 in here right now. I am ahead in this, so I'm still going to stuff $5 in here, as I typically do each week, just to get ahead, or just stay ahead. Because technically I'm not a month ahead in this, so sometimes this will auto draft before the end of the month, before I do my unstuffing. So I want to make sure that I have enough in here just in case it doesn't make it to that last paycheck, if that makes sense. So my car's registration, similarly to my car insurance, this is due annually and it also renews in August. So I'm doing $5 a week until then, because again, I recently purchased a new car and I'm not entirely sure how much the registration renewal is going to be. So yeah. Flow Premium, I left that off of here because this is fully funded at $85, and this is sitting in my high yield savings account until it is time to pull that out and make that renewal payment. Now, Sam's Club, again, similarly to registration, this is annual and this does not renew until February. So I stuff $5 a week until it is fully funded at like 110 to 120, and then I'll stop stuffing that. So we're at 65, 75 right now, so we're getting close. But that is it for my bills binder. And next, I'm going to grab my my debt binder. So for my Discover It card, now this is one of the ones that I am planning on putting more from my YouTube paycheck towards this. So I had scheduled and planned that I was going to take $400 out of my YouTube paycheck to put it towards my Discover card and my Care Credit card. The Care Credit is for my vet bills, and the Discover It card is for my balance transfer that I recently did to cover my Best Buy card. So I need $450 for this scheduled payment. We have $150, $200, $250, $60, $65, and $266. So I need $184 left over. But I did plan to take $150 towards my YouTube paycheck. So I'm going to take 150 out. That's 34. Divided by the 2 paychecks we have left is 17. So I am stuffing 17 plus that 150 this week, which totals 167. And then next week I will stuff the 17 to close it out. I hope that makes sense. So Best Buy this is what the balance transfer went to. I don't know. It should cover this balance by the end of the month, and then I only left this in here just in case the payment doesn't transfer on time and I end up accruing some interest next month, and then I'll pay it off. But if it does get paid off, it's already closed, so I will just take that out of there. But we're not budgeting for it this month. Now, Care Credit is another one. This is a credit card that I use for my vet expenses. Now, I'm still going to budget this month this much for my Care Credit card, or as much as I had anticipated budgeting, although I don't know 100% if this is what I'm actually going to need to pay. So my current situation is my balance on my Care Credit card currently, after my dog Arya's vet appointment, which was like last week or a few days ago actually that I'm filming this, it was $415.35, and then I had a $75 credit, so that brought it down to $340.35. My plan initially was to budget $350 because the next few months I am going to have more vet appointments for my other 2 dogs. I do have pet insurance, and I'm still waiting on the claim to come back. At the time that I'm filming this right now, it's still processing, so I'm not entirely sure exactly what I will be reimbursed for that. I will at least have to pay her minimum out of pocket of $100, and then maybe 70% after that. I'm not sure exactly how it works. This is the first time that I've submitted a claim through our pet insurance. So I'm still going to budget the $350 for this month. And then if I end up over saving in here, we'll roll it over to next month, and then we'll go from there. But $350 is my total. And if nothing gets covered by our pet insurance this month for her, on whatever off chance, let's knock on some wood there. If that happens, then at least I'll have the total amount to pay off this bill, is what I'm thinking. And just so you know, Care Credit, if you didn't know, is interest-free for 6 months over a certain balance. So these are promotional purchases. So even if I don't pay this off by the end of the month, I have 6 months to pay it off before any interest hits, and I'm prepared to budget that way. So $350 minus, we currently have 20, 30, 45, and 50 in here. So that's $350. 300 more that I need to save. I am taking, as I had planned, $250 from my YouTube paycheck. So minus $250 is $50. Divided by the 2 paychecks is 25. So 25 plus $250 is $275 that I am going to budget towards Care Credit this week. Again, that's my normal weekly payment plus the money that I had set aside specifically from my YouTube paycheck. Now, my credit cards are paid off at this time. I should technically change this to credit card because I did close and pay off one of them. The other one is my TJ's card. It's still open, and I do actually anticipate spending on this maybe in a couple weeks when it comes time to get some new clothes for the bachelorette party. I know you can say what you want, but there are certain like dress code things that we're wearing on certain nights, and I want to make sure that I am dressed appropriately. And plus I also need new shoes for the actual wedding, and so I might buy them there, and then I'll just use what I've already saved for the bachelorette party or being a bridesmaid in my sinking funds to pay that off. So it's not something that we're necessarily going to have to budget weekly and monthly to pay off. We should be able to pay it off immediately, but might as well spend and make some payments as long as we know that we can. So credit cards are good. Now my car payment, I had hoped to save $150 this month. in cash. So let's just see. I hope I can put a little bit more though. So we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, and 76. So that would be $74 that we would need to save. So I'm going to do that at least right now. Divided by our 2 paychecks is $37 a week. My student loans are $500. Now I'm going to give you guys the inside scoop. I didn't know if and when I was going to really announce this, and I guess it's not entirely a thing yet, but I am working on going back to school. If you didn't know, I had a semester left of my senior year when I dropped out of my university. I had some personal reasons that I still believe are justifiable, and things have been fine, but I did not finish, and I would like to. So because of that, I reached out, I applied for re-enrollment, and I was accepted. And I have a meeting the day after Memorial Day to meet with an advisor to really go over the nitty-gritty as to what I need specifically for classes, how this is all really going to work. But I also submitted an application for my FAFSA, so I don't really know as far as the loans go what's going to be added, if I'm like how exactly. So basically I have officially enrolled in one class for the upcoming fall semester, so from September to December of this year. And I don't know how much it's going to cost, and I don't know how much federal aid I am going to receive, if any. So my plan right now is, because there was only one of the 4, I only needed 4 classes left, I believe, before meeting with my advisor. I think that's what I need. And that only one of them was available in the fall semester. So that's the one I enrolled in. And if I have to pay the full thing out of pocket, which could be like $1,200, I think on the high end, I don't know. But if I do have to pay all of that out of pocket by myself, my plan right now, I know it's unfortunate, but it is to pull from my savings for taxes and maybe from Manifest or here and there. We'll figure it out. But finishing my degree is important to me as of right now, and I know it's an added expense, but it is what it is. But when it comes to my current student loans, I don't know even how to approach the concept of putting my federal student loans on deferment while I'm back in school. So these could technically drop down from $500 a month to $400 a month. We'll see. But as of right now, these are still $500 a month, $400 for my private student loans that I refinanced, and then $100 for my federal student loans. So I need $500, and we have saved $100, $20, $40, $60, $80, $200, $220, $240, $45, $46, $47, $48, $49, and $250. So we are halfway. And of course, divided by the 2 remaining paychecks will be $125 remaining. And paying my brother back this month, my goal is $100. We have 20, 30, 45, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 50, which gives us $50 remaining. Divided by our 2 paychecks is $25 for the rest of this month. So that is it for my my debt binder. And before we total all of this up, I am going to do my business budget right now. So for taxes, I set aside 30% of my income that is untaxed. So from 462, I'm actually going to just put another dollar sign there. So from Etsy, 462 times 0.3 is 138. I'm going to round that down to 130. And then, so 462, yeah, 25% would be 115. So we're still good. And then 848 times 0.3 is 254. So I'm going to round that down to 250. So in total, we are setting aside $380 for taxes, I do need to pay quarter 2, which will be $10.40 at the end of this month. So we'll see how that goes. But for shipping, let's do $30 for shipping. The reason I'm doing this part before I do, I figure out what's here is so that I know that I'm not tempted to put less here if I know that we have less to work with, because I need to make sure that our business income is accounted for. So we have 15 in stamps.com. It is, again, okay, so this is similar to my Washable membership. I am quite a bit ahead in that, so I'm just gonna put 5 in here because that's what I do each week. Supplies has 30, and I think I'm gonna do 70 and bring that up to 100. Equipment has 15. I am saving up slowly for a printer. I just started this. However, the other day, or last night actually, my laminator was, it was on for a while, so it might just be that, but I was doing a lot of work in my shop, and sometimes when my laminator it's been on for a while and it gets really hot, I'll turn it off while I'm preparing each sheet, because when I do the foil, it kind of takes a while. So I'll turn it off and then I'll turn it back on when it's time to actually put it through. And I had 2 sheets left to laminate last night, and it wouldn't turn back on. Like, the lights would turn on, but it wasn't heating up or like pulling the sheets through. So I really got nervous, and I thought I was going to need to go get a new laminator today, but I did try it again this morning, and it turned on and it worked. So I'm hoping it's just because it was on for a while and it just needed a break. But I may need to pull from here at some point. But I'm going to do 5 this week, and then giveaways is at 50. I'm going to do 5 in here as well. We're just saving up for my 15,000 subscriber giveaway. There's no budget on that, so we'll see. So now I'm going to find the total for each of these. So 131, 11, 71, 18, 25, 15, 12, 5, and 15, 167, 275, 37, and 150. Okay, so that gave me 927. I'm gonna try it again. It's throwing me off that this is over here. It's usually on the other side. So 131, okay, 900. Is that what I had? Oh no, 952, guys. Okay, I apologize. I just looked up and noticed that my camera was not recording. That sucks, but it was $952 in my bills and debt category. And then after totaling up my business, it is $495. That's all we missed. So what we're going to do is plug the 1831, which is my budgetable income, minus 952 minus 495. So that gives me $384 left to work with, which is absolutely absurd. Absurd. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to my wallet here. So I'm going to budget $40 for gas and $5 for miscellaneous, which is what I will typically do. And then for groceries, we actually did pretty good this week. So I'm going to do 70. And I literally went on Pinterest and typed in like quick, easy, or not quick. I was like simple, healthy, cheap, yummy meals. And it gave me like so many options. Super quick and easy. And I also pulled some, I love Pinterest for recipes, but I pulled some old recipes from Pinterest that I knew that I liked that were quick and easy and simple ingredients. And we've been making those this week, and we actually have 2 more. One I'm making tonight, but then that should have leftovers for tomorrow. And then we have another one to start next week. So hopefully that should be good. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 115 is going into my wallet for groceries and gas and things. We have $269. So I'm going to take 19 right off the bat, and I'm going to put that in the baby binder, just so I make sure that I actually designate some money for that this week. And then I'm going to check how much we need for my savings challenge. So for May, we need 15 and a 10, which is 25. So I'm going to do the 15. We'll save the 10 for next week. And then when it comes to here, my sinking funds, so the dogs have 50, 70, 90, 100, and 105, but in a couple weeks, or like maybe a month from now, I am going to be pulling 50 out of here for Cedric's groom appointment. So I'm going to take 50. And I'm just going to put that in here while we have it. And then, yeah. Also, Franklin really needs a bark collar, so we'll see. We'll see about that. Let's do 5 into car care. And 5 into gifts, because we might as well start saving for Father's Day. Christmas has 255, probably more now because part of the weekly Ally transfers that I make go over to Christmas. But let's do 15 into Christmas. Household, 25, 30. Shoot, I do need... Let's do 10 into household. I'm not going to do personal or auntie, but bridesmaid. Right off the bat, I'm doing 50. 50 into bridesmaid because I need it. Okay, I need it. Shoot. Okay, no, actually, let's do 40. Let's do 40. Because that's coming up in just a couple weeks, and I was realizing I'm gonna need probably like $80 just for gas, because it's like a 3-hour drive there, so I'm probably gonna need to fill up on the way, like before I go, and then again on my way back. So that's just gonna be a big chunk as it is. So we have 110 left. Part of me does want to put like that full 100 into the car payment, but since there is no like time frame or interest on that, because I'm just paying my dad back, I do want to make sure that I'm bulking up savings, because that was the main intention, like part of the intention of not drilling down on Discover, even though that is interest free. Just I really wanted to tackle the emergency funds. So I'm gonna take 10 off, and I'm gonna put 5 into manifest and 5 into garage. And then we have 100 left. We have 450 in emergency, so we're just gonna do 50 there. And then home emergency has 400, so we'll do 50 there. Okay, I'm good with that. I am good with that. Okay, so we do need to check our math. So in order to do that, sinking funds, we have 50, 5, 10, 20, 35, and 40 is 125. Oh no, I didn't highlight that one. Sorry about that. And then savings is getting, I'm just going to zero out the spaces that we are not stuffing. So we have 5, 5, 50, 50, 15, and 19. And the dogs are kind of going a little crazy, but that is 144 going into savings. All right, so a moment of truth, 1,800, or let's do 1,927 minus that 96 is 1,831 minus 115 for our wallet, 952 for our bills, 495 for business, 125 for sinking funds, and 144 for savings. Beautiful. That is $0 left over, hence our zero-based budget, which means that we did do this correctly. Every single dollar that we made has been assigned a job. It has a place to go. There's nothing left over that is unbudgeted. And yeah, that's how I am going to, for now, budget out my income for the 3rd week of May. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up. Leave a yellow heart in the comments to show your support for the channel. And of course, subscribe. Check back in on Tuesday and we'll actually cash stuff at least our full-time paycheck, and then we'll have our YouTube paycheck and our Etsy paycheck later in the week. And yeah, if you have any questions about anything, comments, concerns, anything you're curious or confused about, feel free to drop a comment down below. I'm happy to help the best that I can. But yeah, thank you so much for sticking around with me, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, week, month, year. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.